Hello, friends. Welcome to Trivia Over Tea, the quiz show podcast where we drink tea and play trivia. I am your host, Matthew Cook, and I'm here virtually with our guest scorekeeper, Mason Cook. Mason, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I've had a already very eventful morning. Getting up quite early to actually catch the opening game of the Premier League.
Oh, what
Yeah.
time? What time did you actually get up?
Do you want to know?
Well, they're 9 hours. No, they're 8 hours ahead of us. So certainly not before 4 a.m.
Anyway, so I've had a very it didn't go my way. Hey, it didn't go our way, but we had a good second half. I believe in Forest. We're
Who do
we're
you root?
gonna
Who do you root for?
Forest.
I've never heard of this team.
Nottingham Forest.
Oh, okay. Did not know you had a Premier League team.
Yeah, no, this is a relatively recent development.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a college development, I should mention. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. I had no
Yeah.
idea. Well, anyway, it's nice to see you, Mason.
Yeah, of course.
But without further ado, well, actually, no. Before further ado, um, we're back. It's been like 6 weeks, so thanks for hanging in there while I had too much to do to produce this podcast. But we're gonna try to get back on a semi-regular schedule of releasing episodes every 2 weeks, and we've got some exciting stuff coming up. AKA our 100th episode will be coming up at some point before the end of the calendar year. I believe this is episode 95. So yeah, it's a lot of episodes and a lot of time that I've spent on this podcast. Anyway, we're glad you're back. And let's meet this week's contestants. First, we have Elisabeth.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I hail from the Pacific Northwest, and I'm really excited to be on this podcast. He finally asked me. I'm like, maybe it'll never happen, but here we are. So, yay.
In my defense, I have a lot of friends and a lot of people who really want to be on this podcast. So, it just takes time and you got to be patient, and patience is a virtue, and patience paid off. And now you're on the podcast. So, welcome, Elisabeth. Very happy to have you here. And we also have Peyton.
Yo, yo, yo. My name's Peyton. I'm from a smallish town in called Morganton, North Carolina. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's an honor to be here.
It is an honor to have you, Peyton. An honor to have you as well, Elizabeth. I'd just like to share for everybody that so Mason and I went to Legoland last weekend, and I got a mug that says Legoland on one side. On the other side, it says I heart bricks, with the heart being made out of Lego bricks. And I have my Earl Grey tea in said mug this morning. So just wanted to share that. And now, without further ado, we'll get started with the game. So, as with all of our regular episodes, we'll have 4 rounds of questions today, each with a slightly different format. And so, without further ado, Mason will explain the rules for round 1.
All right, round 1. It's our general knowledge round. Contestants will receive 5 questions worth 10 points apiece. They'll be on a wide variety of subjects and also multiple choice.
Yes, that's important. These questions are multiple choice. Elizabeth, are you ready?
I am, and I forgot to say that I'm drinking black iced tea.
Oh, love. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Question 1. Which of the following types of whales is a baleen whale? A, humpback, B, sperm, or C, beluga?
Humpback.
That is correct. The other two are toothed whales. Baleen whales survive on tiny animals in the ocean that they filter through their baleen. Question 2. Until the end of the 19th century, Catalan was considered a dialect of what other Romance language? A, Occitan, B, Aragonese, or C, Spanish?
I believe it's Spanish.
So I think this is a trick question. Mason wrote this one. The answer is A,
Oh
Occitan.
well.
Mason, can you give a brief
So
explanation of what's going on here?
yeah, Occitan.
Or Occitan, yeah.
Yeah. So Octet, of course, is it was at the big language in southern France, and of course, there's people would think with those options in Spanish, it's not actually because a lot of medieval linguists considered Occitan and Catalan to be one singular language. It's because Catalan and Spanish are not really that similar, or when it comes to their general stuff, and Catalan's patterns are actually really close to Occitan to the point where there are even still a couple linguists today that consider them the same language.
Oh, interesting.
But and yeah, and also despite being right next to Aragonese, it is not actually
That one either.
yeah, not that one either.
Cool. Thank you, Mason, for that explanation. Question 3. Which of the following NBA teams was never at one point based in San Diego? This is another Mason question. A, the Houston Rockets, B, the Los Angeles Clippers, or C, the Atlanta Hawks?
I know nothing about sports. Let's see. Can you say my options one more time?
Yeah. A, the Houston Rockets, B, the Los Angeles Clippers, or C, the Atlanta Hawks?
I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Hawks.
That is correct. Yep. The other two. And I know the Clippers were the San Diego Clippers. Mason, what were the Houston Rockets? Were they the San Diego Rockets?
Yep, they were the San Diego Rockets. They were expanded out in 1967. They played their first 4 seasons in San Diego, and then actually probably one of the wildest relocation sagas ever, where their owner, thanks to a giant tax dispute with the city, ran out of money effectively.
Oh.
To the point where the franchise was in danger of just folding completely. And, the NBA literally had to vote in the middle of the night to move the team, despite the fact that they, even in their final season in San Diego, they were, I believe, top 10 in league attendance.
Wow.
Even in their final season. And then obviously ever since 1971, they've been playing in Houston. The Rockets name originally referred to a missile program. And then the Clippers were originally the Buffalo Braves. They moved down to take the place of the Sales, who took the place of the Conquistadors, who took the place of the Rockets. And the Clippers stayed from 78 all the way until 1984, where they moved up the coast to Los Angeles.
Very good. Thank you, Mason. For San Diego, just can't catch a break. Question 4. The city of Makassar is the largest settlement on what third most populous Indonesian island? A, Sulawesi, B, Papua, or C, Timor?
Papua.
Hold on a second. Can we time out? Mason, is Papua the name of the island? I don't think that's the name of the island.
That is the name of the island. That
is it not New Guinea?
Both are names. Both are considered names of the island. Both Papua and New Guinea are considered names of the island.
Okay. Continue.
Well, I answered Papua, but now that feels wrong, but I don't think I should go back. So if I knew it was, that's my answer.
Okay, well, it's wrong.
I figured as soon as it was New Guinea, I was like, well, that's not it. So
yeah. Sulawesi is the name of this one. Yeah. Mason, I'm kind of a little surprised it's not Borneo. Short explanation.
No, because there's Borneo. People would think it's Borneo, but the majority of a large portion of Borneo's population doesn't live in Indonesia. It lives in Malaysia, because it's the northern part of the island. And with that population, Borneo would be at about 23 million, compared to Sulawesi's, I believe, 21 million. But without it, Borneo is only at 20 million.
Got it.
They lose 3 million. And then obviously the two most populous ones are Java, which I believe is at 60 million, 65 million, and then Sumatra, which is about 60 million.
Cool. Thank you, Mason. And finally, question 5. Which of the following people did not sign the Declaration of Independence? A. John Adams, B. George Washington, or C. Benjamin Franklin?
I believe this is Benjamin Franklin.
No, actually, George Washington did not sign the Declaration of Independence. The
Oh,
other
well,
the other two were among the 56 delegates who signed the document. Washington was off fighting battles. He was not in Philadelphia at the time.
I even heard this one before, but obviously I didn't remember what the
Well,
question was.
it's all about retaining that knowledge, and on Trivia Over Tea, we're just trying to reinforce it. So the next time you get the question, you'll get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. Peyton, are you ready for your 5 questions?
I would like to preface this by saying I'm gonna get all of these questions wrong. So please forgive me, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Thank you. Goodbye.
Peyton, we are only here for entertainment, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Here we go. Question 1. Which of the following types of sharks grows the biggest on average? A leopard shark, B, a bonnethead shark, or C, a tiger shark?
What was the first one?
Leopard shark. Leopard, bonnethead, tiger.
I'm gonna have to go with C.
That is correct. Leopard and bonnethead sharks are typically only 4 or 5 feet long, whereas tiger sharks are much larger. Adults usually measure between 11 and 14 feet in length, with female tiger sharks being larger than the males. Question 2. The Dhofar region of southern Arabia is one of the historical production centers of what resin-based material? This was an amazing question, I promise. A, gold, B, myrrh, or C, frankincense?
Um, A.
No, it's actually C, frankincense.
Okay, I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna get. Okay, good. I was stuck between myrrh and gold. So
Okay. Yeah.
I believe,
Mason, do you want to give us a very, very short
yeah,
explanation?
of the 3 golds, actually, the only one of the 3 that's not resin based. It's a metal. The other 2, myrrh is through different trees, whereas frankincense, the Dhofar region is interesting because it's actually subtropical. It's not a desert. Or thanks to the Dhofar Mountains, it's actually a subtropical climate, and so it has a bunch of trees that grow. It actually is palm trees there.
Where is it? Which country is it in?
It's in Oman. It's literally like the south central part of like the very southern coast of the Arabian Peninsula. And like it's very famous for the fact that it's just climate wise completely different from the rest of the Arabian Peninsula. That's why frankincense grows there.
Interesting. Thank you, Mason. I had no idea. Absolutely no idea. Question 3. How many grand divisions does the state of Tennessee have? A, 2, B, 3, or C, 4?
3.
That's correct. Mason, am I right in assuming it's like Western Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, and Eastern Tennessee?
Those are indeed the 3 grand divisions of Tennessee. Very good, Matthew.
That's the
Thank you.
South, baby.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
I would
Yeah.
say those are what the 3 stars in the flag represent. The 3 grand divisions.
There you go. Question 4. Which of the following playwrights, also famous for The Crucible, wrote Death of a Salesman? A, Arthur Miller, B, Tennessee Williams, or C, Eugene O'Neill?
Oh man. Oh man. I love Death of a Salesman. But I don't know who wrote it. Actually I don't love it that much, but I do. But God. Okay, say them again really quickly.
Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, Eugene O'Neill.
A.
That's correct, Arthur Miller. It won the 1949 Pulitzer Prize for Drama and the Tony Award for Best Play. And finally, question 5. The Vanderbilt's famous Biltmore Estate is located in which North Carolina city? A,
Wait, oh my God. Sorry.
A, Asheville, B, Winston-Salem, or C, Durham?
A. Asheville.
That's correct. is the largest privately owned house in the United States with 178,926 square feet of floor space.
You gotta visit the Biltmore during Christmas, man. It's beautiful.
That's what I've heard. I've never been, so I need to get myself down there at some point. Yeah. Alrighty. That's the end of round 1. So Mason, can you please give us a score update?
All right. Peyton, coming out to an early lead here, 40-20 so far. Very much anyone's game, but very strong start overall going into the second round.
Excellent. Well, now it is time for round 2. So Mason, can you please tell us the rules?
Of course, round 2 is a directed round. Each contestant will contain 5 questions on the same subject. However, if you get it wrong, your opponent can bounce it back for 10. The correct answers are worth 20 points.
Okay.
A little more roundabout than I normally do that, but
well,
yeah.
you know, sometimes even Carter, who's been on far more episodes than you have, Carter forgets the rules, and sometimes we need a little prompting. But I'm glad that it's you who has to do the rules and not me, because the one time that Carter abandoned me mid-show, I didn't know the rules of my own show that I conceived. Anywho, so for this round 2 topic, you both are going to get 5 questions on the same topic. And so this podcast will be released on August 16th. And there just so happens to be a very famous actor who was born on August 16th, 1962, in fact. And that actor is Steve Carell. Have you both heard of Steve Carell?
Yes.
Great. Wonderful. Because that's been an issue in the past sometimes. Okay. So, Elisabeth, are you ready for your 5 questions about Steve Carell?
I'm ready.
Okay. Question 1. Carell rose to prominence as a correspondent on what Comedy Central satirical news show?
Saturday Night Live.
No.
Okay, cool. Wait, comedies? Oh,
Peyton?
On what satirical comedy TV show?
Yeah, so Comedy
wait,
Central.
I know this. Are you?
Well, then why didn't you give the right answer? It's Peyton's turn. Comedy Central satirical news show.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Okay, Elizabeth, we'll let you try again for half credit.
I actually don't think I know this anymore.
Oh.
A comedy satirical news show.
Yes.
Because he was already famous by the time the other show that everyone knows him for existed. So I take it back. You're gonna have to tell me what it is.
Okay. This is called The Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
Okay.
Yeah. Which up until recently was hosted by Trevor Noah. Yes, The Daily Show. Carell was on the show regularly from 1999 to 2005. This was in the same era that Stephen Colbert was a correspondent on The Daily Show. Yeah. Question 2. Carell played a banker in what 2015 film about events leading up to and after the housing bubble collapse that triggered the Great Recession?
He played a banker. I wish I knew more of his films. I'm just gonna go with the first film that I can even think that he was in, which is 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That's not correct.
Yeah.
Peyton?
Yeah, I got no clue.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Cool. I wish that I could have said that he was a banker who shorted stock in the question, but that might have given it away that this is The Big Short.
Oh.
You remember that one? It's a good film. I've
Never heard of that.
Yeah. The film was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture. Question 3. Carell's big breakthrough as a leading man came with what 2005 film about a middle-aged man who was still a virgin?
Oh, yay! 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That's correct. Carell won an MTV Movie Award for Best Comedic Performance for this film. Yeah. Question 4. Carell is perhaps best known for playing what character on The Office?
Oh my God. World's Best Boss. I'm my blank. Give me a minute. Um, so we've got Pam and Dwight and the one that he plays is oh God.
Peyton looks like she's about to burst.
I know. I think my friend Andrew is gonna hate me. It's his favorite show, and I wish I could remember his name. But I'm gonna give this to Peyton.
Peyton
Okay, watch me get it wrong because I'm so excited. But is his name Michael?
his name is
Michael
Michael.
Scott.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Michael Scott. Although the show ran for 9 seasons, Carell left after season 7, but returned to make a guest appearance in the series finale. And finally, question 5. Carell plays what piccolo-type instrument, often associated with the Revolutionary War?
Piccolo Revolutionary War. Is he like commonly known to play this?
Well, so I read it on his Wikipedia page, and then I looked it up on YouTube and saw some clips of him playing this instrument on like late night shows.
So if it's a piccolo-like instrument, it's not a piccolo, and we're thinking small and
Mhm.
no no no
Mhm.
and I don't know any other piccolo type instruments. Final answer piccolo, and I know that's wrong.
Okay. Not what we're looking for. Peyton, do you know?
I got no clue.
Okay. Mason, do you know?
Yeah, if that would be the fife.
Yeah, the fife.
Oh,
Yeah. Little bit
well,
out of left field,
Oh
but
yeah, of course, the fife, my favorite piccolo type instrument.
did I describe it correctly though, Mason?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That
You just kind of
that doesn't exude confidence, but okay.
it's a good enough explanation.
Okay.
got it.
Well, we're always striving for good enough on Trivia Over Tea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So glad that I hit that benchmark. Carell apparently joined a group that reenacted the 10th North Lincoln Regiment of Foot.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah, see, this is the benefit of us growing up in Virginia, where we did the regular pilgrimage to Colonial Williamsburg in school.
Well, but I don't
where
know. I have to say that I don't know that I would have necessarily been able to come up with fife myself. Perhaps because I am a singer who doesn't know instruments other than the organ or the piano.
Yeah, and I've also literally been to the International Tattoo down in Norfolk, so that might have also helped me.
Yeah, well, you play an instrument.
True.
That is very loud. Anyway, we won't
Also
get into that
true.
right now. Peyton, are you ready for your 5 questions?
Whatever.
Okay. Question 1. Carell is the voice of Gru, the main character in what animated film series?
Animated film series?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's
Oh,
yeah.
is there also a movie based on this series?
Well, no, they're it's like the first film and then the second film.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like a TV series.
No.
Got it. Is it Despicable Me?
Yes, it is. And all I have written is shout out to Carol, because she was all that I can think of.
Oh God.
Writing.
Oh God.
Anyway, Elisabeth, you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The stage manager, Carol.
Oh,
Little...
the Minions.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, I thought that was gonna, and whatever, it's fine. Hello, Peyton's cat. Question 2. Carell has also appeared as weatherman Brick Tamland in what Will Ferrell film?
Um, the Anchorman.
Yes. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. He reprised his role in Anchorman 2. The legend continues. Question 3. Carell's lone Academy Award nomination came in 2015 for what true crime film, also starring Mark Ruffalo and Channing Tatum?
I have no clue.
Elizabeth?
Give it to Elizabeth.
What year was this again?
2015.
Because I know another true crime film that Mark Ruffalo was in, but that was really recent. So it's not that one, but um it's the one I'm and I don't think Steve Carell is in it, so that's the big part of this. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay. Is the Mark Ruffalo film you're thinking of Spotlight?
Um no,
I guess
I'm
that's not really a
thinking
true crime, but it's
of the one that's about the the killer. Ugh, I just all the words have left my head.
okay.
Yeah, I'll think about it
Okay.
and I'll tell you and when it comes to me. But
Well, this one is called, and I have to admit, I had never heard of this film, but because Carell's lone Academy Award nomination came from this film, I thought it was worth mentioning. This one's called Foxcatcher.
never heard of it.
Anybody? No?
Nope.
Okay. He played millionaire and convicted murderer John Eleuthère Dupont in this film. So there you go.
Nice.
Question 4. Carell starred with Emma Stone in the biographical film The Battle of the Sexes, about a series of matches in what sport?
Uh, football.
No. Elizabeth?
So series of matches.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna go with tennis.
that's correct. The
That was a good. You're smart.
Yeah, the climax of the film is the famous match between Billie Jean King, played by Emma Stone, and Bobby Riggs, played by Steve Carell, at the Houston Astrodome on September 20th, 1973. King defeated Riggs in straight sets, 6-4, 6-3, 6-3. So there you go. And finally, question 5. Carell starred in what Netflix workplace comedy about a then proposed new branch of the armed forces?
Um, I have no idea.
Okay, Elizabeth.
I've I've seen the like promos for this, but the name. Um, so it's. Can you give me the description one more time?
Yeah. Carell starred in what Netflix workplace comedy about a then proposed new branch of the armed forces?
Oh, I know. I've seen this. I haven't actually seen it, but I've seen it on Netflix. Um, the I'm not gonna come up with a name. The Armed Forces, Space Force.
That's correct. Yep. The show ran for 2 seasons. I thought it was actually pretty funny. I watched all the episodes. Anyway, that's the end of round 2. You guys did pretty well with Steve Carell, I think. Mason, can you please give us a score update?
All right. They did actually do pretty well. Peyton got a respectable 50 points out of the round. Elizabeth, also very respectable 40 points for a total score of Peyton 90, Elizabeth 60. So Peyton is still up by 30 points going up into this next round.
All righty. Now it is time for round 3. So, Mason, can you please tell us the rules?
With pleasure. Round 3, second general knowledge round. 5 questions apiece. This time, 30 points. This time, your opponents can bounce it back for 15. And this time, it'll, there's no multiple choice. You just got to give the answer.
Yeah, no more multiple choice.
Damn.
Elizabeth, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Question 1. What interstate highway heads south from Kansas City and connects the region to places like Joplin, Missouri and Bentonville, Arkansas?
I hoped you were going to ask about a different interstate. So, and I was really ready for you to ask about this specific interstate.
Hmm.
That this makes sense because I was in Bentonville, Arkansas, before, so I understand why you think that I would know this. But in fact,
And
I
you
am
live in
very
Kansas City.
reliant. What?
And you live in Kansas City.
Yeah, well, I live in Liberty, Missouri. But yeah, it's Kansas City.
Mhm.
Let's think. So it's gonna end in an odd number,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go with, this is random, I-45.
No. Peyton?
I'm just gonna go with the only one I can think of that ends in a 5. I-85.
No, you were close, Elizabeth. This is I-49.
Hmm.
The highway exists. Boy, I did not write the word exists. I wrote a different word there. The highway exists in 3 separate segments across the states of Missouri, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Question 2. The European Union's universal charger policy seeks to make what port type the standard charger port on all electronics sold in Europe?
Oh, I know this. It's this is either the wrong or right answer, which is
Mhm.
the truth about anything I could say.
Yeah,
I'm
very
gonna go
true.
with USB-C.
That's correct. Yeah, very good. Question 3. What opera by Richard Strauss is based on a story from Greek mythology, the title character being the daughter of Agamemnon?
Is it Salome?
No.
Cool.
Peyton?
Is it Ariadne of Naxos?
No. It's Electra.
Oh, I should have. Yeah.
Ariadne is the daughter of King Minos.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I did have to look that up yesterday because I listened to the Met Opera's Aria Code episode about Electra yesterday, and I was like, oh, I can write a question about Electra, and then I realized, oh, there's another Richard Strauss opera based on Greek mythology, which is Ariadne of Naxos, but Electra, daughter of Agamemnon, Ariadne, daughter of King Minos. Anyway, premiering in 1909, Electra was the second of Strauss's 2 highly modernist operas after Salome. And it's too bad that Carter's not here today because I'm sure that he'll ridicule me because I'm sure I'll get the story wrong. But basically, a couple of years ago, Carter was studying for the summer in Oxford, as one does, and his cohort was bussed down to London, and they went to the Royal Opera House at Covent Garden. And Carter was like, it was really weird because at one point, the main character, she just like kissed the severed head. And I was like, you saw Salome? Because we were trying to figure out which one it was. Yeah, so poor Carter, who's not a music person, first opera he ever attended was Salome, which coincidentally was also the first opera that I ever attended, though that was in Los Angeles. Anyway, fun fact.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say also real
Mhm.
quick who got that? Did anyone get that?
oh, no one. I get it right.
Okay, good,
Actually.
good. Oh, okay, but also it's a little bit less chaotic than the first opera I attended.
Which was the first opera you ever attended?
It was oh, what's the name? Curlew River.
Right. Well, but you saw me in Marriage of Figaro
Oh, right,
earlier
yeah.
that year, so thank God.
That's true. I suppose that is true. Yeah.
Nobody's first opera should be Curlew River, but that's beside the point. Question 4. In 1659, the capital of Wallachia, I hope I'm sure that's wrong, but that's what I'm
Wallachia.
going with. Okay, Wallachia. The capital of Wallachia was moved from Tirgovist to what city? And I'll just preface this by saying that this is a Mason question, and Um, the answer is a European capital that you've heard of.
Okay.
To narrow down the
Mason,
possibilities here.
you have very niche knowledge. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
Wait till you hear what questions Peyton gets in the next
Oh, I
Oh,
can't
bit here.
wait. So,
yay.
can you ask the question one more time,
Sure.
just so I can narrow it down?
In 1659, the capital of Wallachia was moved from Tirgoviste or Tirgovist to what city?
Tirgoviste. So that's sounding.
I perhaps Italianized that a little bit too much. Don't go off of my pronunciation.
Would Mason like to say it correctly for us so it could help me out?
I don't
Or
know
is
if
that not
Mason
allowed?
I don't know if Mason can say it correctly, but Mason can try.
I think it's like a Turgoviste. Like
Okay,
Turgovaste.
so I'm
Turgovaste.
thinking that we're gonna go into Northern European countries. So I'm gonna go with Stockholm.
No.
Okay.
Peyton, want to guess a European capital?
No, but I will. I don't even know European capitals. That's how dumb I am.
You're not dumb. You're winning.
I'm sure you can name a couple.
No, I can't. Uh, yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. If I tell you it's the current capital of Romania, does that help?
No, it doesn't.
This is Bucharest.
Bucharest, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't in Northern Europe like I
No.
thought.
I say Matthew's pronunciation, he was on the right path because it is a Romance language. Just
Oh, right.
you know,
Romanian. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Romania. Turgoviste was basically it was the capital of Wallachia, which is basically the entirety of southern Romania today. Eventually they needed a bigger capital, so they actually moved it to Bucharest, away from Targoviste, the city of a man named Vlad the Impaler that you may have heard of. But yeah, eventually Wallachia and Moldavia unite into Romania, and they keep Bucharest as the capital, and then Transylvania eventually gets annexed on after World War One, and Bucharest has remained the capital and the center of the country pretty much ever since. So
Fantastic.
yeah, geography, European, learning European geography, folks. Very
Thank
useful.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's cool.
And finally, question 5. At the 2008 Beijing Olympics, who won the men's 100-meter dash in a world record time of 9.69 seconds?
Dash?
Yes, the 100-meter dash. Yeah, sprint, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Hmm. Um, Man, why couldn't you have asked about swimming or something? Um,
Hmm.
well, I don't. Usain Bolt?
That's correct. It was his first ever Olympic medal, but he went on to win the event again in 2012 and 2016.
I pulled that out of nowhere. I was like, that's a famous person that runs.
Well, and it was the correct answer, so there you go.
Yeah.
Peyton, are you ready for your 5 questions?
Uh,
Okay. Question 1. What interstate highway is the longest in the state of North Carolina, beginning in Wilmington and continuing west through Raleigh, Greensboro, and Asheville, among other places?
say that just the first part of the question again.
What interstate highway is the longest in the state of North
Okay.
Carolina, beginning in Wilmington and continuing west through Raleigh, Greensboro, and Asheville, among other places?
I-40.
That's correct. It continues west all the way to I-15 in Barstow, California. Question 2. After an owner's vote in October 1993, the NFL opted to award expansion teams to Charlotte and what other city, shocking many league observers who thought St. Louis and Baltimore were more likely candidates? This is a Mason question. I apologize.
Yeah, you should. No, I'm just kidding. To what other city?
Yeah.
Kansas City.
No. Elizabeth?
No, don't shake your head like that, Mason.
So can you, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this so many times. Can you repeat it just because I'm sure
Mhm.
there's a clue in there
Yeah.
somewhere?
After an owners' vote in October 1993, the NFL opted to award expansion teams to Charlotte and what other city, shocking many league observers who thought St. Louis and Baltimore were more likely candidates?
1993. Um, before I was even a thought. Let's think. Okay, so it's probably exists today.
It does.
So, which would help people that know things about sports. NFL. What's an unlikely place for it to be? Expansion teams. Atlanta?
No. This place, the city that this is, their football team is the only professional, like Big Four professional sports team that they have. This is Jacksonville, Florida.
Mhm.
No.
Jacksonville
Oh my God,
Jaguars.
my cousin worked for them.
Oh.
I should
Mhm.
really know that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to
Thanks,
tell you.
Mason. He goes, yeah, you should. You
Yeah.
should
So
have known.
both the Chiefs and the Chiefs began existing in the 60s, the Falcons in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then the Jaguars, the reason why they're so likely because the Gator Bowl at that time where they were going to play was, to put it mildly, a complete trash heap, and was actually set to be demolished to the point where the ownership group originally withdrew their expansion bid earlier that year before resubmitting it, which is why everyone was so shocked that they were voted in. And so they did end up playing in the Gator Bowl for a couple years, and then eventually they got their actual stadium and they just tore the Gator Bowl down. So thus is the story of Duval and how football ended in Duval. Admittedly, I should have said that second part first, but you get what I mean.
That's okay. We'll forgive you.
Isn't one of the Good Place characters obsessed with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah, I believe Jason is pretty sure he's canonically from Jacksonville, if I'm not
Yeah, he
mistaken.
is.
He loves he big fan of Blake Bortles, because this is
Throwback.
very famously in the Good Place. Fun fact: it's said that the reason they had that great Saxonville season is because of Michael's meddling with the earth. So canonically speaking, God is the reason why the Jacksonville Jaguars randomly reached the AFC Championship one year with Blake Bortles as quarterback.
Well, you should have phrased it more with more the Good Place information, and I would have gotten it. So
There are a lot of good angles to go with the Jaguars. Okay, like I picked one of them.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I have to say, The Good Place would not have helped me, as I have only seen 2 episodes. Anyway, question 3. How many Master Balls are normally in each mainline Pokemon game? This is another Mason question. I would never ask a question about Pokemon.
How many Master Balls?
Yes.
3.
No. Elizabeth?
So I only played the logic games in Pokemon, like the ones where I could get my brother points. And I am going to the Pokemon Cafe in Japan. So I was also gonna guess 3, so I'm gonna guess a different number now. Master Balls, we're thinking rare. I'm gonna go with 2.
It's 1. Only 1.
Well, I was trending in the right direction.
Yeah, no.
So
Yes, you were. You were. Mason, very, very, very short explanation.
There are almost all of them are two, except for there are a couple of them where you can get a second if you get the jackpot on the lottery. To be clear how rare this is, in my, 23 years on this planet, I have never heard of a single human being that has ever won the jackpot on the lottery in Gen 5 or Gen 6, where if you get it, you get the Master Ball. Aside from that, that's the only way you can get a second Master Ball. Every other game is one.
Very good.
So technically, because you could get two, do I get some points?
No.
Because vast majority they were one, and realistically, you can't get that second one.
That's what I understand, but I gotta advocate for myself here.
I get it. I get it.
Fair enough. Okay, question 4. Michael Phelps's 7th gold medal at the 2008 Beijing Olympics came in the 100-meter race in which stroke, characterized by a dolphin kick while both arms move symmetrically? Sorry,
Would you
Elizabeth.
believe I was on the swim team in high school? I know he has a signature stroke.
Yeah, it's this
It's
one.
a dolphin kick while both arms move symmetrically.
Yeah,
That would be breaststroke.
it's not the breaststroke.
It's gonna be butterfly.
It's butterfly. Yeah.
Oh God, I knew that. Oh, I knew
That's
that.
that's the only thing I know about is swimming and occasionally some gymnastics.
Yeah. He won by 1/100th of a second. And he went on to secure an 8th gold medal the next night in the 4x100-meter medley relay, where I believe he swam the butterfly as well. And finally, question 5. What opera by Gioacchino Rossini ends with the title character singing Non più mesta after her wedding?
Oh, I've sang this aria before. I've sung this aria before. Non più mesta comes from La Cenerentola.
That's correct. It's Rossini's version of Cinderella, and one of my favorites. And that's the end of round 3. So, Mason, can you please give us a score update?
Yeah, high scoring round. Hang on. I accidentally hit the Siri button instead of the unmute button. So I had to quickly deal with that. Upon, now that I've fully disposed of the robot, I can report that Elisabeth actually got 75 points in that round, and Peyton got 60, but Peyton still very much on top in the overall score, 150 to 135. Very close game going on to the showdown. Yeah, anyone can win it.
And now it is time for round 4. So, Mason, can you please tell us the rules?
Yeah, round 4, showdown. 3 questions, 40 points apiece. Both contestants get it. They lock in their answer somehow. They reveal them, and then we give them points.
Hopefully. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Elisabeth, Peyton, are you ready?
I've
Yeah.
got my notes app open.
Great. Question 1. On August 16th, 1896, gold was discovered in which Canadian territory that borders Alaska?
Okay.
Do we have guesses?
I just write it down.
Yeah.
I know this is wrong, but it's the only one I can think of.
I also
Okay.
know mine is wrong.
Okay. Elisabeth, what is your answer?
Oh, you can't see that. British Columbia.
Okay. Peyton?
I don't know Canadian territories. I think this is maybe a city. I think this might be a city
Okay.
or a what is Quebec?
It's a province. And well, and Quebec City is a city, which is the capital of Quebec, but that's
I don't
not
think I
correct.
spelled it right either.
Anyway, both incorrect. British Columbia is a province, not a territory.
Oh.
This borders British Columbia, though. It's the Yukon territory.
Okay.
The discovery was made along Bonanza Creek. It is disputed whether it was American prospector George Carmack or Skookum Jim, who was an indigenous person of the local Tagish people, who made the discovery. Carmack reportedly received credit because the group they were in believed that the authorities would be skeptical of an indigenous claimant.
So what is British Columbia instead?
It's a province,
Province. Got it.
so a state, but a
Well.
province. Yeah. Yeah. Question 2. On August 16th, 1962, Pete Best was fired as the drummer of what band? It's a band you've heard of.
1962. So I think I'm not in the right area in what I chose, but my parents would know the answer to this question. I can't phone a friend, so Pete Best, drummer. All right, I have my answer.
Okay.
Wait. No. Okay.
Elizabeth, what is your answer?
Well, I have a second option, but I was gonna go with Nirvana.
Okay. Peyton,
Wait, didn't you say 1962?
I did say
Yeah,
1962.
I know. That's why I was in the wrong
You're-
area.
You're about 30 years too early for
Well,
Nirvana. Peyton,
I know this is wrong because I'm pretty sure I know the drummer of this band and it's not him, but I'm gonna go with Led Zeppelin.
well, at least you're in the right ballpark. If I tell you that Pete Best was replaced with Ringo Starr,
Oh,
Oh.
right.
yeah, it's the Beatles.
yeah.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
sorry, I'm 30 years off. My parents would disown me, but
That's okay. At least you named a band.
there you go.
So
Yeah, go
That's-
Elizabeth. Woo!
finally, question 3. A bunker in northern Norway contains a massive supply of what snack food in order to preserve it for future generations? This was a
Can you
basic
clarify snack food?
Well, see, I am reading verbatim what Mason wrote, and I thought about trying to clarify it a little bit, but then I thought, no, we'll keep it vague and make it around 4.
All right. Well, I have an answer.
Okay. Elizabeth, what is your answer?
I see. This is why I needed some clarification on snack food because I would never call this a snack, but I know it's just really popular there, more so in other areas around. But I'm gonna go with sardines.
Okay. Great. Peyton, what is your answer?
I said Twinkies.
That's much closer to what we were looking for. The answer is Oreos.
Dang
Oh,
it!
Yeah.
you're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. Mason, can you please provide us with a very, very brief explanation?
Yeah, no, the Oreo company literally paid for a massive vault in northern Norway where it has like stupid airtight security and it's literally built to withstand like nuclear apocalypse just so that the future generations could enjoy Oreos. And inside of it is like a package of like every single variety of Oreo.
That's what I was
That's
gonna ask because
Yeah.
they're now coming out with the Cakesters, and I'm like, you already did this, but
Mhm.
they're pretending it's new again. So, whatever.
Well, gotta protect the Oreos for future generations. I support that. I'm a big Oreo stan. Anyway, that's the end of the game. So Mason, can you please give us the final score?
With pleasure. No points were scored in that round, so because of that, there was no change. And thus, with a final score of 150 to 135, Peyton is today's winner.
Well, congratulations, Peyton. You have won. Do you have anything that you would like to say?
It's been a pleasure, and I'm surprised. I'm very, very surprised that I won.
Well,
I think Elizabeth is actually way smarter than me. That's what I'd like to say.
well,
Peyton undervalues her own intelligence. She's very smart, as we can tell, because she won, and I guess sardines as a snack food. But I stand by that being in the area a very popular food. So, oh well.
Well, that's yeah. I have to say I was not expecting sardines. So that,
I told you it'd be an entertaining time. I never said I'd get anything right.
you totally did, and it has definitely been an entertaining time. And yeah, well, that's our show for this week, folks. Thank you, Elisabeth and Peyton, for being on the show today, as well as Mason Cook for being our scorekeeper and also for composing music. Today's questions were written by Mason Cook and yours truly. And thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to Trivia Over Tea on your preferred podcast platform, and please leave us a review if you enjoyed it. And in your review, you can tell us what snack food you would put in the bunker in Norway, and why it would be sardines, apparently. And please follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, all at Trivia Over Tea. If you would like to contribute to this podcast, contribute toward the cost of making it and whatever, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/trivia over tea. And we'll tune in 2 weeks' time when we'll have 2 contestants and 30